Alright, I know what you're thinking. Another Jaws ripoff killer animal movie? I mean, I already did The Great Alligator, now I'm doing some movie called Crocodile? I couldn't even pick a different type of animal? The hell's so special about this one? That's right. This isn't just any Jaws ripoff, it's a Sompote Sands Jaws ripoff. Here's hoping we get an Ultraman cameo. Crocodile, not to be confused with the Tobe Hooper movie of the same name, or about a million other killer croc movies, is a 1979 nature run amok film directed by Thai filmmaker Sompote Sands. Well, kinda. Yeah, like a lot of Sands movies, this one has a pretty sketchy production and release history, which I'll get into later. But let's just say Sands calling himself the director of this movie is about as accurate as saying he owns the rights to the Ultraman franchise. Well, I guess it wouldn't be a Sompote Sands video without some kind of controversy. But at least here he didn't try saying he owned the rights to the Jaws franchise. Crocodile, brought to you by Cobra Media. Good movies are a disease, now meet the cure. And as long as I'm referencing other movies... did I put in a Friday the 13th ripoff by mistake? You can tell this movie's serious because it opens with some ominous narration.
From the very beginning, man has been trying to destroy nature.
Also from the very beginning, Sompote Sands has been trying to say that he owns the rights to Ultraman. Spoiler alert, he doesn't. Funny I should mention Ultraman, since the movie begins like a kaiju movie with a massive hurricane destroying some poor Asian village. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Godzilla showed up. I mean, if he did, that would probably double the views on this video. Alright, as tempting as it is to make fun of the effects here, this is actually the most impressive Sompote Sands movie I've seen so far, both in terms of production value and picture quality. After so many bootlegs, it's weird watching one of his movies in HD. So after that destruction-filled opening, guess where the movie goes from here? That's right, it goes straight to Funky Town. Oh, and about that hurricane at the beginning.
Quite a hurricane. Practically destroyed the island.
Do you think there's any truth to it having been caused by that atomic explosion?
Atomic explosion? Shit, maybe Godzilla is gonna show up. So apparently we're dealing with a radioactive crocodile, which makes about as much sense as some of these transitions. Okay, so when we finally see the crocodile, are they gonna zoom in on somebody wearing Crocs first? Oh, never mind, there it is. I get the feeling this is gonna be one of those movies that includes real croc attacks in it. Well, maybe they'll include some of that later, but first we get to see some old lady getting munched by a missing Disneyland Jungle Cruise animatronic. Anyway, our chief Brody for the movie is a guy called Dr. Ackham who's on vacation with his family along with his friend, Dr. Strom.
Hold it.
Yeah, nice that we're seeing stuff that this guy would put on his Instagram if this were made today, but could we please get back to the crocodile? Well, apparently the croc is somewhere, but I have no idea if it's anywhere near these characters or not. Come on, we're 15 minutes in. This movie better pick up quick. Okay, now we're seeing stuff the doc would put on his OnlyFans. Tip $5 to see more. Eventually the movie remembers that it's supposed to be ripping off Jaws and has a woman getting attacked in the water by an unseen force. Although it's a little less effective here considering we've already seen the crocodile attacking somebody. And great idea, lady. Go in and try and help her. I'm sure that'll end well.
Linda!
Damn, the croc mangled him so badly they left nothing but a clearly empty stretcher.
Dr. Strong, may we have a few words with you? Dr. Strong, do you think your wife was eaten by a shark?
Okay, come on, guys. This may be a Jaws ripoff, but we're not being that obvious with it. Well, Doc, your entire family was eaten by a crocodile. The only thing left to do now is channel your inner Robert Shaw, and by that I mean start drinking heavily. Wait, now he's at a morgue? Dude, I know you're grieving, but Frankensteining a new wife together is not gonna help things. Even more people end up getting killed by the croc, although apparently it's a picky eater and really doesn't like arms. And it's not just people that are in danger. Let's see, animals, Asian exploitation movie from the 70s. I don't know if I like where this is going. Nah, we don't see anything like that. Yet. Instead, the doc tries figuring out what killed his family, although even after hours of study, he still doesn't really know the difference between crocodiles and alligators.
I've examined those pieces of anatomy over and over. I'm convinced it was the work of a giant crocodile.
You know, you could have just looked at the title. To be sure, though, he goes to see an expert, and by an expert, I mean a guy who doesn't seem to know much.
Tell me, what is it you want to know? Well, sir, can a crocodile, can he live in the sea? That's a very interesting thought.
Well, in order for a crocodile to live in the ocean, it would have to be some kind of saltwater crocodile. And we all know those don't exist. Those totally exist. Although I'm not sure if crocodiles with bright red glowing eyes are a thing. I guess this sucker really is radioactive. Either that or it's a really advanced pool toy that went haywire. Dr. Ackham and Dr. Strom better figure out a way to stop this thing.
If you're right, how are we going to get it?
I don't know. I'll have to see if boats can go in the ocean too. And would you two get the hell out of the middle of the road? People are trying to get to work. Not only is there a monster crocodile on the rampage, but it looks like the Nothing from the Never-Ending Story is about to kill everyone too. We now meet this movie's version of Quint, a fisherman named Tanaka who owns a boat, but apparently doesn't have a shirt. Tanaka agrees to help him, but they better hurry. He's auditioning for the village people as an SS officer. Oh, and remember earlier when I was worried there was going to be some animal cruelty in this movie? Well, there is a bit of that here, and if you want to know more, just go to the movie's IMDb trivia page. We then get a scene where the crocodile attacks a seaside village, and I should point out that its size is wildly inconsistent in this movie. Sometimes it looks like a big but still realistically sized crocodile, but then other times it seems downright kaiju-sized. I'm guessing this has something to do with the atomic explosion they mentioned earlier, but did the radiation also give it the ability to shrink depending on the scene? Oh, another thing I should mention, on the back of the Blu-ray this movie's rated R, but according to IMDb it's rated G. Okay, I don't know about G, but this movie probably could have gotten away with a PG rating. After all, Jaws was rated PG.
Can you imagine the size of that beast? He destroyed an entire village as if it were a toy.
Well, to be fair, most of that previous scene was basically a crocodile destroying a toy, and about the crocodile's size.
After studying the problem, he has come to the conclusion that this creature is the result of all this atomic testing going on in our atmosphere.
Oh, so it really is Croczilla. Hopefully we get a scene where it breathes fire. Well, there's only one way to kill a giant mutant crocodile, with a giant bear trap. And if that doesn't work, they can try painting a tunnel on the side of the ocean and hope he runs into it. One thing though, which version of the croc are they gonna get here? You're gonna need a bigger trap. Meanwhile, Dr. Ackham is busy trying to figure out how to kill the crocodile by testing different flavors of Gatorade? What the hell are they doing?
It's not working. It doesn't seem to be having any effect at all.
Hang on, the Arctic Blast flavor might just be extreme enough to kill it. Whatever they're doing, I guarantee it makes more sense than the size of the crocodile in this movie, because I still have no idea how big it's supposed to be. One minute it's gigantic, and then in the next shot it looks like a regular crocodile. Look at this part. It attacks some children and one barely even fits in its mouth. Is this even supposed to be the same crocodile that ripped up that village? I haven't seen a monster randomly change size like this since Yeti Giant of the 20th century. Oh well, at least this one doesn't have any giant inflating nipples. The crocodile attacks another village, and by another village, I mean they repeat the same attack from earlier and act like it's another village. Now some of you may be thinking, okay, it's a cheap Jaws ripoff, but at least Sompote Sands made a movie without taking footage or characters from other things. Yeah, about that. Alright, exact details on this are a bit sketchy, but most of the footage here is from a 1978 Korean-Thai co-production called Crocodile Fangs that Sompote Sands helped produce, but didn't direct. Later, Sands apparently made a Thai version of the film that incorporated footage from some of his previous movies and listed himself as director. Then the movie got into the hands of American producer Dick Randall, who re-edited the film again, incorporating even more new footage and dubbing it in English, with Sands again listed as the director for that version, which is the one I'm talking about for this video. So we have an American re-edit of a Thai re-edit of a Korean Jaws ripoff. There's gotta be some kind of a record for this channel. Even funnier, according to the extras on the movie's Blu-ray, the original Korean director apparently had no idea that Sands was credited as director on these alternate versions until the interviewers told him about it, and even hints that he might take legal action. Wow, Sompote Sands had a real knack for pissing people off all over the world, didn't he? Anyway, the fact that this was cobbled together from several different sources would help explain why some of the editing is so choppy, and why the crocodile keeps changing size from shot to shot. One thing's for sure, they better find whoever the mayor is and close the beaches for the summer. In the meantime, Dr. Ackham makes a breakthrough.
Seems to kill every 3 days.
Wait a minute. If he kills every 3 days, that means he's following a pattern.
Okay, I swear to God, if they end up drawing a spiral like in the giant claw, I'm gonna lose it. While they're trying to figure out the pattern, the crocodile seems to be on the prowl for some animal stock footage. As cheap as a lot of the effects are, they did apparently build a giant crocodile animatronic for this. I wonder if it ended up in a theme park somewhere in Asia. Our heroes meet with Tanaka again, and by again, I mean they dub new dialogue over his earlier scenes since they're all wearing the same clothes.
I have everything aboard that you asked for. A light machine gun, a very powerful harpoon gun, which could also be useful for exploding your drums of liquid bait, and 1 box of dynamite.
Okay, I think I know what they're gonna use for the smile you son of a bitch scene now. They set out on Tanaka's boat to find the croc, and this is where it really goes full Jaws knockoff, since the last half hour is basically the finale of that movie, just with a crocodile instead of a shark. Well, okay, there are a few differences. Good work, fellas. You scared the croc away and are gonna be out here all day waiting for it to come back.
How about something to eat, Tony? Have a sandwich.
I made white bread on white bread. I got the recipe from some schlubby guys in Canada. Things take a weird turn when some guy randomly shows up and gets on their boat because... I don't know, the cast needs more chum for the croc?
Hi, my name's Peter. You can call me Pete, Captain. Beautiful ship, sir.
Just who the hell is this guy? What is he doing here?
Yeah, that's a great idea. You don't mind if I take a few pictures from up there, do you? Thanks.
You mean you came all the way out here just to build your photography portfolio? Go ask female tourists if you could take their picture like a regular creep. This movie is kind of like the opposite of Jaws. They show the creature a lot in the first part, and then the finale, he's suddenly nowhere to be found. Come on, hurry up and find this thing already. I'm tired and I want to go to bed.
I'm so tired.
See, even the cast is starting to get bored. Oh well, while they're waiting, they could always exchange stories. Did you guys know I was on the Edmund Fitzgerald when it went down and most of the crew got eaten by beavers? Well, looks like the nothing's still there, and we finally see the crocodile again when it starts playing with some bath toys, attacking the ship. Quick, save the Wonder Bread before it's too late! Oh, and remember in Jaws when the shark lifted itself onto the back of the boat? Well, this movie tries to one-up that. Damn, the croc just did a belly flop onto the ship. That is one acrobatic crocodile. Is it also half frog or something? I was also right about Tanaka being the Quint of this movie since he promptly gets a first-class tour of the croc's digestive system. Although I feel sorry for the actor who probably had to spend hours sitting in the mouth of this crocodile puppet during filming.
I'm sorry about Tanaka. I'll write about him when we get home.
I'm gonna send his family the best damn sympathy card the world has ever seen. Alright guys, there's 10 minutes left. Let's kill this fucker once and for all. Its wildly inconsistent size is really starting to piss me off. I think they hit it there? I don't know, the editing in this movie looks like it was mauled by a crocodile.
got him, John.
Wait, so that's it? They don't end with a big explosion? Come on, guys, you're supposed to be ripping off Jaws the movie, not Jaws the book. Of course the crocodile's not dead. And they do kill it with an explosion, although it plays out a little differently than in Jaws. Photographer guy grabs some dynamite, and instead of just trying to throw it into the croc's mouth, he gets in the water and swims right into it. Smile, you son of a Sompote! By the way, in an alternate ending included on the Blu-ray, photographer guy still gets in the water, but just gets eaten by the croc, and instead Dr. Ackham kills it by throwing some dynamite into its mouth, which is what the other guy should have done. And now that the crocodile's dead, guess how the movie ends. That's right, from an explosion right into funk. Imagine if Jaws did that.
Fire, you son of a...
Well, there's the first movie I've done with Sompote Sands' name attached to it to actually get an official Blu-ray release. So, does this one deserve to be seen in HD? Well, the combination of a Jaws-style killer animal movie with a kaiju flick could have lent itself to some cheesy fun, but the choppy structure and editing really kills a lot of the enjoyment. On the other hand, this is probably the best Sompote Sands flick I've done so far, even if he didn't really direct it. I mean, it's a hell of a lot better than Space Warriors 2000 in that this kinda resembles a real movie. So there you go, grading on a Sompote Sands scale, this is probably the best one I've seen, so do with that info what you will. Well, that's all for now. Until next time.